you are dissatisfied, you can go to the Supreme Court, because judges are human beings. They cannot be perfect 100%.
Okay.
But you cannot remove the entire bench of the Supreme Court. And you see what will happen is that the president will manage the appointment of the new judges through the JJC, because they are the ones who will interview and recommend for appointment. So what will happen is that if this is allowed to happen, one is very dangerous for the country.
Okay.
You cannot have a vacuum where there is no Supreme Court, where an entire bench has been sent home as we process the tribunal mechanism. Again, the danger is there because he has pronounced himself, and I have told you, he did in my presence, that we must have a Supreme Court that we control. In fact, he told me, once you are president, it is very irresponsible for you to lose an election.
Okay.
You must control the election from IBC all the way to the Supreme Court. And the president is determined, and I know him.
And this was a private conversation?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
But I must tell the people of Kenya, because, in fact, initially I thought it's a joke. I never imagined that any president anywhere in the world would ever want to disband an entire bench of the Supreme Court. I mean, it would cause, one, a vacuum that is unacceptable, a constitutional crisis that the country can stay without a Supreme Court for a certain time.
Okay.
And it's a very dangerous thing, and we must not allow it to happen.
Then tell me this, Bwana Rigiji, if I can call you that. Allow me to quote you verbatim, because while in Meru, you said this: "We are telling you, if you dare plan to chase Martha Koome, stay in Nairobi and do not step in Meru again." That's just a quote from your statements. And to some people, this is a threat. This is incitement.
No, it isn't.
Of the many people against the head of state.
It is not a threat. It's not incitement. It's just a statement of fact. Many times I have offered free advice to the president. And when I was in office, I told him not to touch the mountain. I told him not to interfere with the mountain politics. I told him not to attempt to divide Mount Kenya East and West. He disregarded me, called me primitive, called me retrogressive, called me tribal, called me all manner of names. Today, it has come to pass, he has lost the mountain completely. He is struggling on the tails of Honorable Raila Odinga to sustain his government, to keep it in power. All I was doing when I was in Meru, I was not in any way threatening the president. I was just telling him a statement of fact. 90% of the people of Meru are through with him. The remaining 10%, if he goes ahead to remove Martha Koome as Chief Justice and President of the Supreme Court, he will lose the other 10%. So I was telling him, there is no need for you to come to Meru anymore, because people, they will not be hostile. They'll be cold and indifferent.
So what happens if other leaders actually tell you, regarding Gachagua, you can't step in our region?
I'm not saying I didn't, I just gave him advice. I said, I did not even say he shouldn't. I said, if you remove Martha Koome. You know, I'm not saying he has not removed her. I said, Mr. President, you are planning with your deputy, the Mr. Yesa, because they are working together. And Mr. Yesa has been given the responsibility to make sure Martha Koome is out of the job. And in fact, the meeting that was held, and I've come to get the content, is that the president argues that Mount Kenya East cannot have the presidency and a head of judiciary at the same time. Because Mr. Yesa is in the presidency and Martha Koome is in the judiciary, the president has told Mr. Yesa, if Martha Koome is not removed so that we can take this seat to another region, you will have to go yourself. So you must make sure that Martha Koome is out. In fact, that is a responsibility has been given. All these things that are going on, the petitions, the JSC, it is Mr. Yesa who is coordinating to save his job.